Hotels. Now, with the hotels, you stay in a hotel pretty much every single night, other than the home stays. So you have a different roommate. In each hotel you stay in, you have a different roommate. You may stay in one hotel one night, you may stay in a hotel for 4 nights, and you'll have a different roommate every single time. And that's a really good thing too, because that's when you also get to know people. Throughout this entire trip, you get to know these people. They become your family. And you really get to bond when you stay with a certain person. And you may get to stay with that person again. Like, on my trip, I stayed with the same girl 6 times. And she's probably one of my best friends, I can say now. Also with roommates, how many will you have? Depending on certain days, you may have 2 roommates, you may have 1 roommate. I was in a triple once, and then I was in all doubles. You're never by yourself. Ever by yourself. Either you're in triples or you're in doubles. So, it's all good. Who assigns the rooms? The leaders do. The leaders will specifically assign people to rooms. Normally, the first 2 days, they go in alphabetical order. And then they kind of start switching up and seeing the certain groups and what cliques are forming, and they kind of mix them up. Because that's one thing that they don't want on this. That's the one thing they don't want on the trip, is cliques. And that's something cliques are always something that forms, but they try their best not to let that happen. They try their best to mix it all up. So, yeah. Free time. What is it? Free time is a time that you have to do what you want. So you'll be maybe, say you're like an hour early to a museum, and you don't have to, your tour isn't till 5, and you're there and it's 4 o'clock. You'll have a certain amount of free time to go off by yourself and explore and see certain things and buy souvenirs and buy gifts and see how things are for a certain amount of time. And then you have to go back to your meeting spot. You will start at the meeting spot. You will disperse in groups of 3 or more. It must always be 3 or more. And then you'll meet back at a certain time. So that's pretty much what free time is. It's just time to do whatever you want. How far can you go during free time? Just don't leave the city areas. Normally you have boundaries or something, I would think, but I don't know, they never seem to have a limited area you could go. You just gotta make sure you can make it back to the meeting spot in time, or else you're dead. Well, not necessarily, but you need to be back in time. Journals, is it mandatory? Yes. This was another question about getting school credit. You can get school credit for this trip, and pretty much how they assign that you get school credit and if you pass or fail is through tests that they give and the journals. Journals are something that you must do every single day, and it must be good. You have to put in everything that you do for the day. I'm actually going to go run and get mine right now. Now, this is probably exactly what you will get. This is your travel journal. You put your name in there, and that's how it is. You have a bunch of stuff that you fill out. There is a bunch of, I didn't fill this part out, but that's where you put the hotel information, the addresses, and the phone numbers in case you get lost or something, which doesn't happen. Then you have pre-journals. You need to do pre-journals, so before the trip. And then we have stuff about you. You fill out little questionnaires. This is a page about homestays, so you write down about your homestays. And then journal topics. They give you topics that you can write about. Because this is pretty much so that you can write down everything that has been going on. You can write down the differences between your cultures. You can write down everything that you did that day. That's what you're supposed to do. It's a journal, but you have to write it in a certain format. It can't be a journal that you would write normally at home. And so you can't be like, today we went to the park and it was a lot of fun. I got to chill with my homies and we had ice cream. You have to be detailed and specific. Like, they give some examples, if I can find them. Have an example somewhere. But it was like being very specific and making, like, and analyzing certain things, using symbolism and stuff. Like, you don't have to go that intense, but it has to be written well, and it has to make sense. And you pretty much write everything that goes on, and it is really important to do too, because when you look back on this years from now, you're not going to remember everything, but if you write it all down in details, you will. And you can see, if you look through mine, which I don't really want to show, like, see, I have spelling mistakes, little circles there. Spelling mistakes, I don't know how to spell tomorrow, obviously. You have a page, you fill out what day it is, the date, what you did, your starting destination, your ending destination, things that you did that day, stuff that you learned, and then your second destination. And all the same things. Again, spelling mistakes. My God. Draw a little picture if you wish, like I did. You have quite a few pages to fill stuff out. And your leaders will collect your journals every few days and make sure that you are doing everything. They make sure that you are putting in the right information. Like, I didn't put down the name of the chapel. Name of chapel. Cathedral. Sorry. Can't read either. And so you gotta make sure that you put in enough information. And see, I didn't do this right. We did a service project. I just put down service project, and it says what it was, where did you go, what did you do, how did you help. I needed to be more specific in certain things, and then you start being more specific and everything. By the end, by like the fourth day, you're a pro. But you want to make sure that you fill it out all the time, and that you enjoy it, and don't write curses in it, because I did, and I got in trouble for that. You have certain things that you can't put in, certain things that you should leave out. So if you go and you do something that's against the rules, don't put it in your journal. Put it in a different journal. What else did I want to say? If you want to, you can put in little things. Like, that was a sticker, that was a pass to get into one of the museums in Paris. What else? I started using colors, which you can't see because you're on black and white. You can't see, but at the end I started getting very colorful. And then you have a lot of space in the back for notes to take, so when you're tested you have some notes. More notes. Then I have foreign currency, so you can see how much you're going to spend. Yeah, and I didn't fill that out. A lot of little memories I would write down, and contact information of everybody else on the trip. So, yeah, I wrote down a lot of inside jokes. So, you need to do your journals. They're required, they are graded, and they will edit them. They will go through, tell you what you need to add, and they will explain it a lot when you have your meetings. But it is required, and it is not that difficult. But you need to fill out one for every single day. Every single day. And don't leave them to the last minute. Try to do it that night, or on the buses, or when you have free time. Don't slack.